Well, hello there. I'm so glad that you decided to listen to this. I wanted to talk about grief and why there can be such a disconnect from knowing if it is something you're even experiencing. I had the privilege to work with Sobonfu Somé, who is from the Dagara tribe in Burkina Faso, West Africa. I loved what she was teaching Westerners. She passed away last year, and her impact on the West was significant. What she brought were grief rituals, and what she brought was a way of looking at grief that made sense, I feel, to those who were able to listen to her. And it resonated so much because of all of my work in mental health that we need places where we gather in community and address our mental health specifically through processing our grief. In her culture and tradition, mental health and well-being was seen as processing grief. And if someone was experiencing imbalance, dysregulation, otherwise just not being right or a little bit off, all those phrases we use to describe states of being, they would send those people to a grief ritual. And they would say, take it to the shrine. And for those of you coming to the ritual on Saturday, you'll learn more about the shrine and what that means. But the idea that unaddressed, unexpressed, unexplored grief can create imbalance and dis-ease is what I want to focus on. We live in a culture where there is a lack of discussion and orientation to death. In the extreme, the phrase death phobic is what I have come to learn to explain that sort of avoidance of processing death. But it is inevitable, and it happens in all sorts of ways. We usually, in our culture, are introduced to it abruptly by losing someone we love, and then our heart is broken. And we may have never known what heartbrokenness was prior to that, or what deep sadness was before that. But the unfortunate thing is that there is no place to process that. You are supposed to keep showing up at work. You are, if you're lucky, going to get a couple days off to go to a funeral. Most of us these days aren't able to fit a funeral into our schedules, and so we don't go, and so we don't have a ritual or a place to process this idea of what it is to live, what it is to die, and both of those things together equaling what it is to be human. And it's my deep desire to start having us address these life, death, human issues in a more open and supported way. We lose things all the time and have many deaths. The seasons go through deaths. And how can we start to become in more alignment with the natural world and with the communal world? Expressing grief, even if you think you don't have it, is key to health, in my opinion. I did not know how much grief was in my body until I gave myself permission to take it to the shrine, the phrase I brought up earlier, and begin to cry. And all of a sudden, I was crying for more than the initial reason I thought. And there was a deep pain that I connected with. And in connecting to that deep pain and moving it, all of a sudden I was able to clear out clutter that had been stuck in my body, causing me fear and limiting my ability to access joy and love. And so, in regularly expressing and processing grief, there is a capacity to live more fully. And that includes feeling deep pain at times. Thank you if you made it to the end of this, for listening. You may feel a bit triggered just from listening to this, and I encourage you to take a few deep breaths with me right now. Feel your seat if you're sitting. Feel your feet if you're sitting and or standing. And notice where you're feeling energy in your body. Energy can be tension, relaxation. Your body wants to weigh in on letting you know if there's grief in your body that wants to be expressed. And grief is this profound thing that holds a lot of energies, a lot of different emotions. So in connecting with your grief, you may notice a wave of different emotions. I hope that you reach out and connect with me and let me know what your experience of this was. I would love to work with you more. I would love to have you join us in recognizing that grief is a very real energy that is meant to be addressed. Thank you.